gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Yeah. Thanks, honey. Appreciate you. Have a good day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Late P-Dog Night on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Night channel on this hump day. Wednesday, the 21st of August, 2021. I'm sorry. I had some technical difficulties. Again, Johnny's helping me out. Got it fixed, and we're we're here. So dear, get used to it. Anyway, let's say hi to everybody and get it going because I know I'm really late. So first in chat, of course, today is Mr. Avocas Diabli, who gets the bell. Thank you, sir, for being here. Also, good morning. Oh, and he beat me because right as I hit the button and clicked, all of a sudden everything went black. But apparently it set up the show, so he was here. Also, good morning, Kara Soldier, Mike Savage, Blarg, Renee Mayette is here live. Lord Stanhope, Patty O Furniture. Good morning, Judafine. Nice to have you back. Johnny Boomer Tech, of course. Lord Stanhope is here. Good morning to Ravon Harris, Alexander, the Scourge. Good morning. Also, good morning, number one. How you doing? Good morning to Nomads in the house. Big Dave, 1066. Good morning. Good morning also to. Is that everybody? Oh, wait. I see it. Wait, did I scroll too fast? Sirv. Hello, Sirv. Are you going to stick around? Kamala Waltz 2024. Well, good for you. Fan-fucking-tastic. I'm glad to have people who don't agree with everything I say here. So you're welcome to be here. Be a gadfly or whatever you want to be in the chat. I don't care. Love to have you here. Also, good morning, Attack Alpaca. Amazing Disgrace. How sweet the sound. Good morning, Vader35. That's a new name I haven't seen. Or maybe you've been here before. I'm not sure. Sometimes there's some that you're not here a lot. I am not necessarily... I don't remember every name that comes through, but I'm glad to see a couple new names here. And Sir, I'm serious. If you want to stick around, you can be a gadfly if you want. I miss Mike the Liberal. Mike the Liberal was fun. I mean, he's wrong about everything, but he's fun at least. I enjoyed having him here. Except he was kind of a jerk to the people in the chat. So maybe don't be a jerk. Just tell what you think, and that's good. I'm all for it. So let's get this thing rolling because, like I said, I'm way behind today. So first today, let's go to the training stuff. Of course, it is hump day, of course. And unfortunately, this is one of those days where I cannot scroll very far on hump day. So this is the top post on hump day today. Good morning, X family. I hope you're having a wonderful hump day. And then, Jesus, my Savior, Trump is my president. Well, I am not a, me. I'm not a, I don't worship anyone, any politician. But if that person says Trump is my president, that's good for you. I'm good. I'm not knocking it. Also, and then I scrolled down and see I got here and I'm like, wait a minute, what does this have to do with hump day? Oh, she's showing off her hump. And then the next one I can't even show because it's body parts that aren't completely covered. So we'll just skip that. All right. So that's happy hump day, everybody. Also today, now this is an interesting one. I am just amazed because I've seen this lady. Did I see her in person once? No, I just saw her when she was at the NCAA tournament. Anyway, there's a young lady named Sister Jean, and Sister Jean is turning 105 years old today. Sister Jean is a super fan of the University of Loyola, their basketball program. She still goes to games, and she's in a wheelchair, can hardly walk, whatever. But she turned 105 today, and she's a March Madness legend. She's still kicking, and it's funny because they've interviewed her, and she's pretty. Look, she's more coherent than our current president. Sorry, Sarah. So anyway, happy birthday to Sister Jean, Loyola super fan. And again, if you ever saw her during when Loyola was in the NCAA tournament a couple years ago, she went to every NCAA tournament game. They love Sister Jean. So happy birthday to her. 105 years old. Can you imagine? Also trending, Vote Harris is trending. So Serve should probably like this one. Oh, wait. What's the first thing under Vote Harris? Is none other than Terrence Williams, the little funny comedian dude. Oh, and Charlie Kirk's second. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, wait. These people are Vote Harris is trending, and these are all people who are not going to vote for Harris. What's up with that? Oh, I see. Because this is an account called Vote Harris Out. Anyway, so I'm sure that the people who are at the Democrat National Convention probably wanted to get this going, and it's always kind of backfires. And it backfires for Trump too. Like if someone puts something positive hashtag about Trump, there'll be all the lefties in there trying to muck it up like they do too. So it's just kind of a social media thing. But I'm curious. Jedi Ghost Bear, what's up? I see you in the chat. And also Rick Ashbringer, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
The gang's all here. I love to see it, y'all. Welcome back. All right, so let's see. I'm going to skip Terrence Williams. I mean, he's a funny little dude, but he's also annoying as hell. He's funny, but he's annoying. Don Julio, Commandant of Trash is here too. Oh my gosh, everyone's showing up. But I want to see, so somebody, I'm gonna do this one. I'm just curious. We'll watch this one. How about that? Let's watch this one, see what these people are saying, and we'll I'll react and we'll get your reaction. Here we go.
What do you guys think about Kamala?
It'd be cool.
She's terrible. If she comes into office,
Whoa!
it will be done.
It'd be cool to see a female black. She's half black, not fully black, but it'd be cool to see a black president,
A Western Indian.
female black president. But I'm definitely voting for Trump.
Let me tell you something.
Oh.
She tries to get the.
Whoa, wait. Where are these women from? Women in Chicago go off on Kamala outside the DNC, Democratic National Convention.
Black vote. Because if you look at her past things, and maybe 10, 15 years ago, when she's in interviews, she identifies as West Indian.
She does.
The only way that she's
Not even
identified
West
as-
Indian. No. She straight up talk about being Indian. No, I think she is. I think she has African heritage too. I don't know. Her father, Don Harris, is a Jamaican black man. Not an American black man, but But by the way, there is something funny that happened at the DNC yesterday, and I might be the only one who said anything about it so far. I saw Mike Savage saw what I wrote, so we'll get to that in a minute. But let's finish what these women are saying, because why are they going off on her heritage? Because I know why. Because Kamala Harris and Democrats are running on her diversity, right? They're running on her being black. They're running on her being multicultural. They're running on her being a woman, and then a bunch of stuff that would make California blush. But anyway, here we go. Let's listen to these young ladies.
African American is right now. Doing right now. Because she wants the voters. But she doesn't give a fuck. Because where was she at in these past 4 years and she's vice president? What has she done for us?
She have not.
Can you say one thing that
I didn't even know she was the vice president.
Can we say what she has done?
Let's
Hello,
go,
bonehead
Trump.
dumbass.
And I am
What's going on here? Now, granted, you could go anywhere in America. If you ask enough people, you'll find someone, of melanated brothers and sisters saying they'll vote for Trump, right? But you might have to go through 10 or 15 of them. So I don't know if this is like a selective posting by this guy, or is this his experience outside of the DNC. Good morning, Shrapnel, too. So anyway.
I'm going to stand on Trump, and I'm so sorry if that may ruffle people's feathers.
I'm
but
sorry.
I have done my own research, and Trump has done a lot for us more than what the media tries to portray. They're getting
damn.
all our
Hello,
favorite
Vader.
rappers. They're having Megan Thee Stallion twerk and all of that to gain because they think that that's going to make us vote for them. And that's not.
And that never got my vote.
And that will never get my vote.
Oh.
And I'm going to stand
Did they
on
learn?
it. Twerking.
Did they learn
yeah,
last time?
Meg Thee Stallion. First off, the
That's
song that she was
ignorance.
even saying is very ignorant.
Remember when they when they had that rally? I think it was in Georgia, and they had Megan Thee Stallion on stage, doing her thing, and the song she was talking about her body parts and what they do and all that stuff. So that's interesting, and I've seen a lot of videos like this. We're out in the street asking random people, and even Don Lemon did one. Niggas for Trump. That's right.
That's right.
Anyway, so that's fascinating, and then we got this brother right here. Let's check. What
else can you do?
Here's another one, and I'm seeing more and more and more of this happening. Let's listen to this guy.
With Trump. You know what I'm saying? I got raised with Trump. You know what I'm saying? I'm with the red team anyway, all across the board, if you know what I mean. So, like,
Okay.
I
don't know who this
I
is.
did when I was a kid. I like when he used to talk crazy, the Rosie O'Donnell, all that. I always liked Trump.
Right.
Can't tell me what he did wrong to black people. You niggas are brainwashed and stupid. I still don't know what is y'all talking about. Don't talk about that old Central Park, because everybody thought they did it.
Right.
They got off. Okay, sorry. It happens in life.
shit.
What else can you name? You know what I'm saying? They really can't. You dumb. So, like,
Everyone thought the
Kamala
Central
Harris,
Park
like, I
Five
didn't know
was
this
guilty.
whole
And in
4
fact-
years he did nothing good.
And in fact, I know this is going to be controversial. They haven't really proven anything that they weren't guilty of what they were being charged with. The reason that the city settled with them, that was it not Bloomberg? Who was the mayor that settled with them? He settled with them before they could go to a new trial. But there's a whole movie on it. Like, supposedly their confessions were coerced. They weren't coerced. They have pristine footage of all their all of their confessions. And the claim is that, oh, well, they didn't even let one of them's mother come. That's because his father was there. I mean, that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, let's listen to this fella.
Right.
I'm rolling with the red team, man.
Come on, man.
And my took a bullet and stood up and said, "Fight on."
Right.
Who's doing that? It could have been a whole SWAT team knocking
Come
them
on
down
now.
from up there. That nigga took the bullet here and looked at it and said, "Huh? Fight on." Man,
Right.
who's doing that?
Come on, man.
That's ready for war.
Yeah. Well, I say
No, it wasn't Giuliani. It was the next. Was it Bloomberg? Not Bloomberg. Who was the mayor after? It was the mayor after Bloomberg. Anyway, I can't remember. But yeah. Was it Bloomberg that did that? Yeah, he settled it before they really, because supposedly there was like DNA evidence that someone else had also violated her after she was, beat up. But there's no disputing that they beat her up. They all confessed to beating her up. So anyway, here we go. No, not Bloomberg. No, it wasn't Bloomberg. De Blasio. That's who it was. It was Bill de Blasio. As soon as he came in, he gave them a settlement pushed a settlement from the city from them, giving them millions of dollars. But there's still the idea that they did beat her up was false. Anyway, but we're gonna go. I'm not gonna get into that.
hey, Trump is probably the most blackest president ever.
Always been.
Come
Definitely blacker than Barack Obama, white ass.
on, man. My nigga got baby.
Okay,
mouth.
so anyway, this is in the link in the thread here. Vote Harris. So anyway, that's trending. Let's move on because I got to get through this quickly today. Also trending, Cat Turd is trending. Now, you know what? Now, if you follow Cat Turd on X, or if you know who Cat Turd is, he's this dude. He's a writer, but he also spends a lot of time on X. He's one of those X super users, right? And he's 100% MAGA through and through, right? But he's kind of a bitch, he really is. It's there was a little, where is it here? I'm gonna see if I can find it. this right here. So there was a thread, and he blocks anyone who ever disagrees with him. Okay, he blocks anyone who ever disagrees with him. And there was this is a guy, some Greg dude. He was talking about this online interactive poll where Trump was, had 79% to 20-something% for Harris and whatever. But it's an online poll, right? An online poll on X. When you do an online poll almost anywhere, I don't know if you remember the Freepers. It was a website called Free Republic. Their whole thing, they would go in and just hack online polls by just overloading them with votes for what they wanted. And that can happen on any online poll. So if you do a poll on X and it happens to go out to more people on the right than the left, then you're going to get the result from the right? So this guy, Greg, who's also a Trump supporter, said, to be fair, I don't think a poll run by Elon is probably the best temperature check either. I think a majority of the people that interact with Elon Musk lean right. And that's a fair assessment. That certainly makes sense. So Cat Turd tweets back to him, "Thank you for finally admitting you're a left-wing nut. Now we can all see you for who you really are, loser." And it's like, dude, he made a very sensible statement. Everything I've seen from this guy has been supporting Trump. But you can't go, look, if you're going to believe an online poll and Trump loses in November, you're going to be very, very distraught and wonder what happened. Because online polls are not scientific whatsoever. So anyway, and then here he goes, "I'm blocking idiots tonight. You're either for Trump or you're for communism. I have no more patience with wishy-washy idiots." No, nobody's being wishy-washy. Look, I don't interact with Cat Turd at all. I don't even follow him. He's just in my feed all the time for some unknown reason. And he's a funny dude. He does, funny stuff. But this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. This is one of those dumbest things I've ever seen. So anyway, that's why Cat Turd's trending. Moving on. Real America's trending. Now, I don't know why. I guess the Democrats are talking about this as real America, whatever. But, so obviously the Democrats think that they're real America and the Republicans think they're real America. And everyone thinks they're real America. It's a stupid argument. We're all real America. We just have different ideas about how America should work. And I don't think the Democrats have the right ideas. But, so the top post on this, no, rally crowds do not equal winning. But this Milwaukee, a few minutes ago, I've been in and around political events for a long time. And believe me, this is wild. So what they did is the Democrat National Convention in Chicago was going on. And then they had a rally for Kamala Harris in Milwaukee, which is just about a couple hours up the road, up north there. And so they coincided with the time that Kamala Harris was going to be nominated, and then they had the rally, so they put it on in the screens. And so this is impressive. I'm telling you right now. This is in Milwaukee. And look, and this is where Little John came out at the Democratic National Convention when Georgia's turn to give their nomination votes. And so, I'm saying it's impressive. You got to be, if you're on the right, you certainly got to be concerned about this. 45-minute drive at most. Well, it depends on what part of Chicago you're in. If you're in downtown Chicago, about an hour 45 sometimes, depending on traffic. If you're starting from, Evanston, a North Shore suburb, 45 minutes to Milwaukee. You got to drive kind of fast, though. So, anyway. So, look. It's the middle of the Democratic National Convention. Democrats have had nothing to cheer about with Joe Biden. Would they be doing this if it was Joe Biden? Hell no. So look, Democrats are energized. It's not a good thing. But as I said before, if you stick to policy, the Democrats can't win on that debate. They can't win on debate. They can win on the superficial stuff, the joy of the campaign. And, oh, she's so, whatever. But their policies suck. And look, one of their themes right now is we will not go back. And I might even make a video about this one because they keep saying it during this convention. We will not go back. Oh, really? We will not go back? We will not go back to cheaper gas prices? We will not go back? We will not go back to cheaper groceries, cheaper food? We will not go back? We will not go back to a secure border with people not free flowing across and us process them as fast as we can and putting them up in hotels in cities around the country and paying millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to put them up. We will not go back to securing the border. We will not go back to, maybe having, not having single sex sports. We will not go back. Oh my Lord, there's so many things on that list that we will not go back. Buy me a bus ticket back. I'm boarding that plane back because we need to go back to some of this to low inflation, lower interest rates. We will not go back. Jesus Christ. What when they say Kamala does not do bus? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I'm not saying that out loud. Moving on, also trending right now. Gavin Newsom. Now Gavin Newsom is trending, and there's a whole lot of irony. There's a whole lot of irony in Gavin Newsom being the one who got to announce that Kamala Harris, because California, they waited until their turn and they made it so they could put Kamala Harris over the top to be the nominee for the Democratic Party, right? And so there's this whole, I got this here, California wraps up the roll call with Governor Gavin Newsom announcing 482 delegate votes endorsing Kamala Harris for president. Newsom made his speech as Kendrick Lamar, All Right, Not Like Us, and Tupac's California Love played in the background. Now, this is wild. Now, here's this thing that I'm talking about irony. Why is this not, there we go. Here's some irony for you, okay? And I mentioned this earlier today on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, while I was at work, and I had some time to just do nothing. By the way, I never told you who the coffee is by today. Today's cup of coffee is brought to you by the John Wayne Museum in Winterset, Iowa, birthplace of John Wayne. They have this little childhood home on one corner, and they have a John Wayne Museum on the other corner, and that's where I got this lovely cup with the Duke on a horse. The back says, "Courage is not being scared to death, but saddling up anyway." So cheers to the Duke. Some people say he's racist, but I don't care. The Duke was awesome. All right, so the irony of Gavin Newsom. Now, for the longest time, people thought for sure that Gavin Newsom would be Joe Biden's successor. Also, he's the governor of California. He's got that slick look, and he talks pretty and all that shit, right? And so we know that Gavin Newsom wanted to be president. We know he did. And it's funny because before the primaries for the Democratic nomination started, there was a lot of speculation, I should say, that Gavin Newsom would jump in the race, maybe Gretchen Whitler. There's a few Democrats that people were talking about, and most of them were talking about them bypassing Kamala Harris, and that was very controversial, right? So when Biden finally steps down, he was a little racist, but yeah. But, he's a product of his time and generation. Gavin Newsom was probably the one person that was talked about the most of being Joe Biden's successor if they would have had actual primaries, and he definitely would have run. But now that Joe Biden waited until too late beyond the primaries to decide that he's not going to run. And they kind of basically just installed Kamala Harris, who gets the job of putting her over the top, but California's Governor Gavin Newsom. Now, when they were doing this, you may be familiar with the song They Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, which is, and if you're not, it's been beaten to death. And it's part of a song basically where he has this beef with Drake, the rapper from Canada, right? And the big line, they not like us. And basically, this is kind of funny, because basically the song is talking about how that Canadian half-black guy ain't like us Black Americans, right? Us real Black Americans, us Americans who were descendants of slaves and all this stuff, right? So during this nomination of Kamala Harris by Gavin Newsom, what are they playing in the background?
Racial justice, economic justice, social justice. I saw that star get even brighter as Attorney General.
Now, so you hear it in the background. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. And it got me thinking, remember that little skit that Kamala Harris did during the BET Awards with, what's her name? Taraj, whatever, the woman from Empire. I was thinking about that song, They Not Like Us. That song may as well have been about Kamala Harris. If you really think about it. And I'm like, does anyone else find that ironic that they're playing the song? Because she's not necessarily Black culturally, right? You know, and especially when you consider, her heritage, which not that I give a shit. I wouldn't vote for her if she was 100% pure. All four of her grandparents were descendants of chattel slavery in the United States. I don't even care, because I don't vote for her because of the melanin or her accent or whatever, whatever code switch she's on right now. Okay? But it's just ironic that they're using that song to put her over the top. And also just the fact that Gavin Newsom has to be the one to put her over the top, because he's just dying to be in that position. But the other part, too, it only reminds you that Kamala Harris is a California liberal. And if I were running against this woman, I'd be like, oh, my God, you're from California. They pay like $7 or $8 a gallon or $7 a gallon of gas compared to the rest of the country. Do we want to make America California? Because you're a left-wing San Francisco Democrat who is more liberal than Bernie Sanders. And I imagine that a lot of the ideas you have are very much like those in California. Well, California has the biggest homeless problem in the country, the highest taxes, the most expensive gas. You can't get out of an In-N-Out burger without spending $20 for a hamburger and some fries. It's the most expensive place where there's businesses fleeing California left and right. The California, and what are we nominating as the Democrats? A San Francisco, California liberal. Make America California again, or soon. That's what I'd be doing, boy. I'll tell you that. I would be like, she's a California San Francisco liberal. She's Nancy Pelosi. Left of Nancy Pelosi, left of Bernie Sanders, left of Gavin Newsom. But I got a feeling she might also have some strings, so to speak. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, so that's why Gavin Newsom's trending. Moving on, also, Stephanie Grisham is trending. She's a former White House communications director, and they brought her up on stage at the Democratic National Convention because she's now apparently stumping for for Kamala Harris. And it's funny because they put her up there. Hang on a second here. Oh, here's now. The reason I wanted to look at this thread, though, because I wanted to find out what Chris Hayes said that pissed this person off. Because this person put up here said, "Oh my word, Chris Hayes should just STFU. Lawrence is all of us. Stephanie is nervous laughter because I think she knows Chris Hayes is a dingbat. Stick with Lawrence always." So let's see what Chris Hayes said that kind of annoyed this person. Chris Hayes, who is Rachel Maddow in drag. What did Chris Hayes say?
Writ large for the family.
Yeah, and it was that, in some ways, this sort of forum content, incredible pathos to the whole thing because of that, the self-sacrifice. A man with a titanic ego. Let's be clear. Joe Biden.
Oh, he's mad. He's mad. She's mad. Whoever that person is mad because Chris Hayes says Joe Biden has a titanic ego. Okay, he kind of does. Like, you almost have to be president, right? Don't you have to have a titanic ego to be president of the United States? But anyway,
ego. The guy.
Oh wait, did I just see Maddow on this dais with him? Oh, they're not. I could have sworn they were the same person. Anyway.
Ran for Senate, was elected in 29 years, has spent 50 years in public life. This is someone who occupies a room. He likes the attention on himself, like all of these things, and also paired with like a deep sense of service and fundamentally contrasted with a person who lives their entire life in service of ego and avoiding ego death in Donald Trump, even if that means bringing down the constitutional republic so as not to brook having lost. And here you have someone whose last major political act is this act of getting up there to say, like, vote for her. Yeah. Thank you, Kamala. Like, that isn't, I mean, we've never said that. LBJ, as you said, was salty as all hell in '68 and basically wanted Nixon to win.
Oh, you don't think Joe Biden is salty about being pushed out? You don't think he's because there were little hints in his speech that he wasn't leaving because he really wanted to. And he said the party said, I needed to go. Not in those words, but you know what I mean? He made it clear that it wasn't necessarily his decision 100%. Claiming, I'm getting up there, whatever.
You know what I mean? Like, what he did tonight, what Biden did tonight, is something that doesn't happen in politics. Like, it's an incredible thing to watch it happen in real time and to know that, like, he is hitting the marks and doing all this.
He's not doing it altruistically. He's not doing it out of sense of any sense of pride or any sense of, self-sacrifice. He's doing it because the party bosses said, we're going to destroy you if you do not drop out. Nancy Pelosi said, we can do it the easy way or the hard way. It's not some great self-sacrifice by Joe Biden. Shut your hole. Seriously, Chris. So that's some bullshit from Chris Hayes. Anyway, but also, oh God, thank God I did not scroll. Holy shit. Why is this in this? Why is there naked people in this thread? So this is
supporter.
This is former Trump communications person Stephanie Grisham, who also spoke last night, and she's making some claims that Trump bad talked some of his supporters. Let's get on with it. Come on.
I wasn't just a Trump supporter. I was a true believer. I was one of his closest advisors.
Yeah, you were a press secretary. Were you the advisor or were you an employee? But either way, I'm not discounting what she says because of what her position was. But now she's turning on Donald Trump.
Family became my family. I spent Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's all at Mar.
Oh, former chief of staff to First Lady Melania Trump. That's what it was.
Mar-a-Lago. I saw him when the cameras were off. Behind closed doors, Trump mocks his supporters. He calls them basement dwellers. On a hospital visit one time when people were dying in the ICU, he was mad that the cameras were not watching him. He has no empathy, no morals.
That's interesting. Now that's interesting. No empathy. That's interesting because there's all kinds of stories about Donald Trump's kindness to people who are having a hard time. They found a homeless woman in one of his buildings. He put her up in that building for free for years. She lived there 9 years because he put her up there for free and allowed people to, had people feeding her. Again, some of these, maybe she's mad because she has no confidence in him and he has no confidence in her anymore. I don't know.
No fidelity to the truth. He used to tell me, it doesn't matter what you say, Stephanie. Say it enough and people will believe you.
Well, gosh, that's the whole Democratic strategy in this thing, isn't it? Because they keep repeating the very fine people thing. They keep repeating the the inject bleach thing. You're talking to your people, Stephanie. And if he said that, well, yeah, I'm sure. But
it does matter. What you says matter. And what you don't say matters. On January 6th, I asked Melania if we could at least tweet that while peaceful protest is the right of every American, there's no place for lawlessness or violence. She replied with one word, no.
Whoa! 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 There's actual evidence. That's what he said. No violence. Support our law enforcement people. Oh my God. He did do that, and Twitter took his account down when he started doing that. They removed it. Oh my God. This is revisionist. Maybe she said that to Melania Trump, but Donald Trump actually did that. Holy shit, that's a lie. Holy shit.
I became the first senior staffer to resign that day. I couldn't be part of the insanity any longer. When I was press secretary, I got skewered for never holding a White House briefing. It's because, unlike my boss, I never wanted to stand at that podium and lie. Now here I am.
But now you're lying.
The podium, advocating for a Democrat. And that's because I love my country more than my party.
Holy shit. Anyway, so yes, that's why Stephanie Grisham trending. There's only a couple more seconds. I'll play the rest of it, but
Kamala Harris tells the truth. She respects the
it's incredible that she would go up and tell that story when there's evidence that Donald Trump did exactly what she said she wanted them to do. And why she was asking Melania Trump, who knows? Who knows? Why would Melania Trump have anything to do with it? Donald Trump did exactly that. Wait, let's go back to this text. I want to see, because she posted a text on here, 2:23 p.m. Let's do something. I want to check something here. Let me check something. Okay, and this is what I'm referencing here. 2:22 p.m. is the time of this text that she sent to Melania. All right, well, let's look at, we'll look up at real Donald Trump. Let's see, because I know it's still up here. Here's real Donald Trump's Twitter feed, X feed, whatever you call it. And they've been posting on it lately, but let's go down here. Oh, they've been posted on here quite a bit, actually. I didn't think they were gonna do that, but let's see. Let's scroll down. That's from the here it is. January 6th, 2021. I am asking for everyone at the Capitol to remain peaceful. No violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. Also here, please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly on the side of our country. Let's see if there's a timestamp on it. 1:38 p.m. Her text to Melania Trump was at 2:25. So at 1:38 p.m., he said that. Support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly on our side. And then the violence one, what time was this one? That's at 2:13, before she texted Melania Trump. I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. Let's just do this. Let's do this. I'm going to just make a copy of this. And let's highlight this time right here. And let's see. Let me see if we can find Stephanie Grisham again. Let's see. Stephanie Grisham. Where was that? Stephanie. There we go. Stephanie. We'll just post to this guy. There it is. She sent the text to 2:25 p.m. And there we go. Oh, I didn't know what happened here. There we go. So anyway, that's fascinating. Holy shit. Holy shit. I can't believe that. Well, I can believe it because they'll say anything. Somebody will say anything. All right, moving on. White House for 12 is important, and this is why this is trending, and it's just a quick clip here, so we'll play it. This is the panel at CNN, and so White House for 12 is trending because of this particular clip.
In all these speeches, as good as they were, is that she's in the White House right now.
Ding!
Democrats have controlled the White House for 12 of the last 16 years. And for all of the talk about division and the problems in the country and people are hurting, Democrats have mostly controlled this country. Trump had it for 4. The Obamas and Biden had it for the rest of the time. And somehow, it's still all Trump's fault, and somehow she hasn't been at the center of it. So to me, that's still the glaring hole in this campaign that hasn't yet been solved at the convention. How do you explain all of the problems that will be solved by the person who is currently in there for the last 3.5 years, who is supposed to already be working on solving it? But in all,
so there you go, and that's you got to remember. She keeps talking about how she's going to make things better from the administration that she's a part of. So anyway, that's why that's trending. Moving on. Eric Holder's trending. Jack Posobiec found Eric Holder at the in DNC and decided to chase him around. Now I don't know if I'm a fan of this at all. But it is interesting. Apparently, Eric Holder was part of the team that was going out to vet the vice presidential candidates. It's funny. I hadn't heard that until maybe yesterday, that Eric Holder was part of that process, which means he's also part of this whole, again, are there Obama fingerprints all over this? Kind of, because, the whole thing with Joe, getting Joe in there, and then they put Kamala in there because she was so unpopular, but then they made her the vice presidential candidate, and, she became the vice president, and now they didn't allow anyone to run for primaries. They waited till Joe, basically would have got all the primary votes, and then they find a way to get him to step down by having him do a debate that was completely out of pocket. I mean, that debate that they had before the Democratic convention, that's a setup, because they knew Joe was going to bomb. They probably didn't give him the right doses of Adderall for the thing, and he bombed. And then they push him out. Oh, we're going to anoint Kamala Harris without any votes. And so now Kamala Harris is the nominee, and now they get Tim Walz, my governor, as the vice presidential nominee, with no votes. But they got the leftiest leftists they could find, to run for president and vice president. So Jack Posobiec found Eric Holder at the Democratic National Convention and kind of chased him around in an unprofessional way, but still, here it is.
Excuse me, A.G. Holder. A.G. Holder, why didn't you vet Tim Walz? Why didn't you vet Tim Walz? What about his...
Now, did you hear Eric Holder's response? Did he say, shut the fuck up? What did he say?
Why didn't you vet Tim Walz? Why didn't you vet Tim Walz? What about his stolen valor? Back up. Why are you hurting me? What about stolen valor? Why didn't you vet him for stolen valor, A.G. Holder?
Oh, excuse me. You know, you're a fool, okay?
Why did he lie? Why did he lie about deploying to Iraq, A.G. Holder? You can stop pushing me now. You can stop pushing me now.
So apparently this went on for several minutes, and Jack Posobiec is kind of a dick anyway, so he has no problem chasing around and asking questions. Holder never did answer the questions because he had people around him. And then they try to keep Jack out of the press area, but Jack has a press badge. So, and I guess it's one way to do it. And people, a lot of reporters will track people down in the oddest of places, in the hallways and whatever. But he never got an answer from Eric Holder. Barry's trending. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama both spoke at the convention last night. And I wish you had time to go through these because it's so interesting how they Barack Obama and Michelle Obama spent time playing victims. Now, and talking about, like, Michelle Obama talking about how she grew up in a very, modest household, and their mom was skeptical of people who took more than they have. In fact, here's the part of the Michelle Obama speech that people are talking about. At least people on the right, people on the left, Here it is.
You see, my mom, in her steady, quiet way, lived out that striving sense of hope every single day of her life.
Yes. Oh.
She believed that all children, all people have value.
Yes.
That anyone can succeed if given the opportunity.
Okay.
She and my father
and y'all didn't
aspire to be wealthy. In
so
fact,
wait.
They were suspicious of folks who took more than they needed.
Really? So are they suspicious of your, $40 million complex on Martha's Vineyard now, or whatever that thing's worth? 15 million, 10 million, 20 million, whatever. That giant thing on the water that, is supposed to go underwater because of global warming. Are she suspicious of you now, or is she just living? Well, or no. Oh no, her mother passed away. I should be respectful to her mother, but, what did she think about that? Because y'all have it I think their net worth's like $70 million or something.
They understood that it wasn't enough for their kids to thrive if everyone else around us was drowning.
So you mean equity? So you think it should have been equity? So why, Michelle? Didn't you learn from your mother then? Why are you wallowing in your big vault of gold and taking $100,000 for speeches? Do you donate every $100,000 speaking fee you get? Do you donate it to help those people around you who may not have enough? I'm sure you do all that.
So my mother volunteered at the local school. She
Are you volunteering? Oh no, you give speeches for $100,000 instead of volunteering at the local school. So anyway, Oh, and also she said something about, hang on, she said this. This is another one. Because IVF was a big topic last night. Oh, wait. Why isn't it playing? Here we go.
Taking away our freedom to control our bodies, the freedom to become a mother through IVF like I did.
Now, wait a minute. Donald Trump isn't trying to get rid of IVF. This is one of those things they keep saying, too. This is a lie. This is not something that Donald Trump's trying to do. And but in fact, let's listen to Donald Trump.
For mothers and families to have babies, not harder. That includes supporting the availability of fertility treatments like IVF in every state in America, like the overwhelming
Wow.
majority of
That's-
Americans, including the
that's
vast majority
amazing.
of Republicans, conservatives, Christians, and pro-life Americans, I strongly support the availability of IVF for couples who are trying to have a precious baby. What could be more beautiful or better than that? For mothers and families
So
to have
there you go.
babies.
That's weird because she just said Donald Trump's going to try to take away IVF. That's pretty much the opposite of what he said. So anyway, but anyway, and if you listen to all the pundits, they're saying that the speeches by the Obamas were the best political speeches they've ever heard in their entire lives. Wait a minute, even better than Barack when he was running, even better than his Lincoln, or what was it? Whatever the park in Chicago was where they did the acceptance or the acceptance party for the presidency or whatever. Even better than that? Really? Or just like this is the most important election in our lifetimes every fucking 4 years. I'm just curious. So we're not going to watch any more of their speech, but they're both trending, of course. And then also Stephen Miller's trending too. Now, what was it that I wanted to... Stephen Miller's trending. One, Michelle Obama warned us not to lose hope in these terrible times. The entire Democratic convention is an exercise in pretending they haven't been running the country and crushing dissent for the last 4 years. The only emotion they express is for themselves, not their victims. Well, that's interesting. But also, Stephen Miller brought up this little document. Now, because supposedly, well, here it is. I'll just read it. The day after the DNC endorsed amnesty for human traffickers, well, for, all the illegal whatever people, the Department of Homeland Security Inspector General confirms that the Biden-Harris handed over 320,000 unaccompanied alien children back to the traffickers. This is far worse than the 85,000 lost unaccompanied alien children previously reported by the New York Times. Remember they said they lost 300 or 85,000. They didn't know how many where 85,000 of these children are. Well, let's read this little paper by the Office of the Inspector General. And I think I'm going to finish with this because I'm really out of time here. Here's this paper from the Office of the Inspector General. It's called Summary of Issues. Okay. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, could not monitor the location and status of all unaccompanied migrant children, UCs, or initiate removal proceedings as needed. During our ongoing audit to assess ICE's ability to monitor the location and status of UCs, again, those every time I say UC, unaccompanied minors, let's see. Status of UCs who were released or transferred from the custody of the Department of Homeland Security and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, we learned ICE transferred more than 448,000 unaccompanied children to HHS from fiscal years 2019 to 2023. 448,000 unaccompanied minors. However, ICE was not able to account for the location of all unaccompanied minors who were released by HHS and do not appear as scheduled in immigrant court, or did not appear as scheduled in immigrant court. ICE reported more than 32,000 UCs failed to appear for their immigration court hearings from 2019 to 2023. Additionally, even though HHS was responsible for the care and custody of unaccompanied children, ICE did not always inform HHS Office of Refugee Resettlement when UCs failed to appear in immigration court after release from HHS. ICE enforcement and removal operations, ERO officers at only one of 8 field offices we visited stated they attempted to locate unaccompanied children. ICE also did not serve a notice to appear on all unaccompanied children after release from HHS custody who warranted placement in removal proceedings under U.S. Code 8 Section 1229A. As of May 2024, ICE had not served notice to appear on more than 291,000 unaccompanied children who therefore do not yet have an immigration court date. And then I'm going to skip this part and just go to the highlight part. Notice to to the more than 291,000 unaccompanied children who were not placed in the removal proceedings. By not issuing NTAs to all UCs, unaccompanied children, ICE limits its chances of having contact with unaccompanied children when they are released from HHS custody, which reduces opportunities to verify their safety. Without an ability to monitor the location and status of unaccompanied children, ICE has no assurances unaccompanied children are safe from trafficking, exploitation, and forced labor. So, almost 300,000 they're missing and haven't had any contact with. It's insane. It's insane. Now, I don't know if that's why Stephen Miller is trending. Usually it's because other people are talking about him. Just a reminder, Biden and Harris are destroying black communities and stealing black wealth in mass illegal migration, the economic war on black communities. So, because you know where they end up. All the illegal border crossers that we they always end up in black neighborhoods. And someone says, "Oh, what's a black job?" Well, it's a job you get probably if you live in a black neighborhood. Certainly, they're taking up space in black areas. Now, look, there's no such thing as an area that's just exclusively black. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, it's funny how that they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on all these illegal immigrants, and they put them in areas where mostly black people live. So everyone's complaining about Trump talking about black jobs. You know, it's a job that it might be taken by anybody. Again, this whole crew that was working in our neighborhood was from Ecuador. The entire crew of all these people, all these were Ecuadorians. And I don't know if they were here legally or not. I don't know. But the entire work crew were from Ecuador. Don't know how that works. Now, just as a final little shot chaser kind of thing, Matt Walsh, the guy from the Daily Wire, well, he showed up at the DNC. He's been walking around wearing a Kamala Harris hat. And apparently this is a disguise and people aren't noticing that it's Matt Walsh. In fact, he was, when Chuck Schumer was on CNN, watching the background behind Chuck Schumer here. Come on.
The more they see her, the more they're
watching the background.
Her. I saw what she did in the Senate. We served together for 4 years.
She
cared about families. She could work with all kinds of people.
Oh, see that red hat?
Effective in getting things
see
done.
That red hat?
One of the things she pushed, which we succeeded in, was $35 insulin
there he
for
is.
senior citizens. Now we're going to get it for everybody.
What's your response when Trump takes credit of that?
Trump takes credit for so many things.
Oh, it's funny because by the way, I wasn't listening to Chuck, but here's what Chuck's talking about. Let's listen to what Chuck's talking about. Because he's complaining that Donald Trump might try to take credit for $35 insulin. Do you remember that Trump did that?
The more they see her, the more they're going to like her. I saw what she did in the Senate. We served together for 4 years.
What she did in the Senate, she didn't pass anything in the Senate. She was pretty good on hearings. But that's because she had notes to ask her questions. But listen to this. Listen to Chuck Schumer, the smarmy prick from New York, by the way. Chuck Schumer, the smarmy prick from New York.
Cared about families. She could work with all kinds of people. And she was effective in getting things done. One of the things she pushed, which we succeeded in, was $35 insulin for senior citizens. Now we're going to get it for everybody.
What's your response when Trump takes credit of that?
He resigned it. If a president signs it, he gets to take credit for it. He gets to take credit for it.
For so many things he doesn't do and gets the blame.
There he is again. He walked through again. I didn't even see him walk through the second time.
For a lot of things he does do.
Oh, my God.
He's lost his bearings, as we can see.
So anyway, that's that. All right. Now I got a bunch of articles open, and I'm not getting to them. I'm only doing headlines today, AD. I see you. I see what you do. So apparently there was bomb threats at 4 DNC hotels, but they have not found anything suspicious. Article in Legal Insurrection. Medium Research Center. Did you see? You gotta look after the show. Wait till I put this in the links. The DNC Women Caucus forgets the words to the national anthem in an ear-splitting attempt. This is some cringy shit. They tried to do a national anthem, and they started singing too early, and then they didn't know the words, and they kind of got lost. It's embarrassing, but I'm not playing it. In the day of the caller, first day of DNC protests dubbed mostly peaceful as cops repel rioters who broke the barrier. Because, of course, they're going to call it mostly peaceful. I don't know how many protesters were fighting with cops this time, not like the first night. Breitbart, rifts emerge between the establishment media and Democrats as DNC problems turns into a debacle. The lead on this, establishment media outlets are signaling that Democrat presidential nominee Vice President Kamala Harris' honeymoon phase is over after the first day of the Democratic National Convention saw major issues with logistics and operations. Basically, everything took too long. They had to dump James Taylor. Joe Biden didn't get to speak until after midnight on New York time, and so the media was kind of annoyed with them, and especially you don't get to hear James Taylor. I mean, we don't know what song he was going to sing. I was hoping he'd sing Handyman, but whatever. And the Federalists, apparently the Rumble CEO says that the DNC blocked Rumble from streaming coronation of Kamala Harris in Chicago. They were not going to allow Rumble to stream from the convention. And so, I mean, what do you do? Does everyone have to do, CNN's feed or whatever? Monday, Rumble CEO Chris Kozlowski wrote that on X that the company reached out to numerous times in the DNC to cover the 4-day programming, just like we did at the RNC, because they did stream live from the RNC, so they wouldn't let him. Breitbart, Governor Andy Beshear appears to wish J.D. Vance's relatives get. Well, you can read it on the screen. I'm not going to say it. Which he did. Is this the clip? How long is this clip? No, not doing 7 minutes. Here it is. Here's what he says.
I mean, think about what some people have had to go through because of these laws. J.D. Vance calls pregnancy resulting from rape inconvenient. Like, inconvenience is traffic. I mean, it is. Make him go through this.
Oh, okay. You get the implication there. Front page, Democrat platform says America is built on stolen land. Is that really in the platform? I know they probably did a land acknowledgement at the DNC, but if you say that America's built on stolen, well, here it is. Yeah, the 2020. No, that's the 2020. 2024 platform likewise begins with a land acknowledgement, claiming that Chicago properly belongs to 13 different Indian tribes. Once again, the DNC asserts that they recognize that our country was built on indigenous homelands. That is to say that America should not exist. I mean, if you say that, then you say America should not exist. Can they name which indigenous tribe that came over from Asia? I'm not sure. Anyway, there's a whole story on that. Legal insurrection. Kamala Harris wants a 28% corporate tax. Now, that's interesting. Now, actually, not a big deal since the tax code is filled with write-offs and deductions. She wants to raise the rate businesses pay from 21 to 28%. Now, it's funny because they keep saying Donald Trump, tariffs idea. If he's gonna enact more tariffs on foreign goods, and that's gonna raise the cost of goods. What happens when you raise the taxes on corporate America? Who pays for that? Would that maybe come in the price? Cause inflation and raise the cost of goods if you're going to tax corporations more? I've never understood that. But we tax everything. We tax everything. You tax when you tax when you work. You get taxed for working. You get taxed when you spend your money. You even get taxed when you get money back that you've been taxed on, i.e. Social Security. You get taxed when you buy a car. You get taxed when you drive a car. You get taxed when you don't drive a car. You get taxed if you buy a house. You get taxed on the property you buy. You get taxed when you die, because if you give it away too much to your family, they get taxed on that. They just keep it's like tax over everything. Now she wants to raise the tax on corporations. Well, who pays for higher taxes on corporations? Well, it's paid for by higher prices. Economics 101. In Washington Free Beacon, oversimplified, the food industry denounces Harris's Soviet-style price controls. She's talking about, oh, they're going to ban price gouging. We're going to have some price controls. Who determines what price gouging is? If I go to Cub Foods, which is down over there, Cub Foods, it's a grocery store in Minnesota, and I see that, there's a few different stores. There's Lunds and Byerly's. There is Hy-Vee. There's Cub Foods. There's, what's the other one? There's one more big chain. Oh, Whole Foods, right? Now, I generally go to Cub Foods because it's convenient. Oh, and Aldi, okay? So I go to Cub Foods because it's convenient. But if I decide I go to Aldi because I want to pay a little bit less, I do that too. Now, but all of them, price of food has gone up, right? Are they all colluding to price gouge me? I don't know. It can't be that that's what's happening. So anyway, but that's the Washington Free Beacon. Issues and insights, reviews are in. Harris's economic plan is a flop. Again, it's tax and spend, which is kind of Democrats' themes forever. Also Tim Walz said that his children were conceived via IVF, in vitro fertilization. They weren't. Here's what he said.
Today's IVF day. Thank God for IVF. My wife and I have 2 beautiful children. He thinks he needs to dictate that, and I've been saying...
What? Well, first of all, Trump isn't against IVF. And number 2, he said it's the reason why...
IVF, my wife and I have 2 beautiful children. He thinks he...
Because of IVF, he says. No. No, maybe he's just stupid or he's lying. Now, apparently they had, what do you call it? There's some kind of, he also said it here. He said it 2 weeks ago, too.
Look, that includes IVF. And this gets personal for me and my family. When my wife and I decided to have children, we spent years going through infertility treatments.
Okay.
And I remember praying every night for a call for good news. The pit in my stomach when the phone rang, and the agony.
Now listen to this. He's lying again.
So
Bye,
it's
Carol
by
Soldier.
chance that when we welcomed our daughter into the world, we named her Hope.
Yeah, but you didn't use IVF. Apparently, they used another procedure. He's multiple times saying it was IVF. So what is it? They used a different procedure. They went to a fertility clinic. IUI is what they used, which is in uterine something. I don't know what it is. Intrauterine insemination, which is different than IVF. But he keeps saying IVF as if, and besides, Trump is not against IVF. Moving on. Also, well, there's a bunch of other articles. I gotta go, guys. So I'm gonna cut this off, so I'm not late to my other gig here. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining me today. There's a bunch of articles. I'll drop them in the chat during the outro. I hope you all have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow on my usual Bat channel. And please do me a favor, okay? If you're here and you haven't hit the like button, just do that. It kind of helps. I don't know. It helps. It helps my ego. So help my ego a little bit, and also share the stream when we're done. I kind of have to grow this show now. I kind of got to make a decision if I'm going to keep doing this or if I'm just going to, maybe let it go. But I'm going to do it as long as I can. And it helps if we get more people joining us. And I don't know. I don't understand YouTube because, as long as I've been doing this, you'd think just by accident I'd have more people watching. But maybe I'm just a boring guy. But you know what? How about you tell people how great I am? That would be helpful. And we'll keep it going. So anyway, all right, I gotta go. Enough rambling. Thank you for joining me. My name is P Dog Knight, and I'm out here. Bye bye. Here come the links. Hey, this is P Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.